October 24th, 2020. We spoke by phone. I reported recalling the sexual assault by Dylan. And I was able to agree at the time that he wasn't a threat to me at the time. Still just seeing his campaign signs for Westerly Town Council are all over town. And since seeing these, her symptoms of complex PTSD and previous sexual abuse trauma memories trigger her amygdala and set off her autonomic nervous system, making me physically and emotionally disturbed. This situation leaves Kim in emotional flashbacks about her history of sexual abuse. Talks about some breathing exercises and everything that's attached to this. That is October 24th of 2020. October 29th of 2020. Looks like maybe I missed that appointment. November 5th of 2020. Spoke by phone. I had a positive pregnancy test. I was very anxious about it, as I had the other miscarriages this year. Client seems much less depressed. Okay, so it says I'm cautiously optimistic about the pregnancy. I'm tired but fine. Asked if I could. I had asked if I could text her about the results of the sonogram. December 3rd, 2020. Spoke by phone. Pregnant again. I was disappointed because I didn't repeat the ultrasound. It was hard to read because the fetus was so tiny. We'll speak with the doctor. December 17th of 2020. We're homeschooling the kids this year. Let's see. We went for a husband and heard the baby's heartbeat, and it was loud and strong. Client feels very reassured by this and is planning to make an announcement about her pregnancy on Christmas Day. Client does seem more relaxed and comfortable about pregnancy after hearing the baby's heartbeat. My kids were bothering when she called today, and I had to cancel the session early. The joys of virtual health, telehealth, and COVID. And funny because I'm back now and I have COVID. Excuse me. January 7th, 2021. Spoke by phone. We had a great Christmas. It included the announcement to the family that I was expecting in July. On July 14th, I was expecting. So now we're at January 28th, 2021. And this note says that even though my therapist had texted me yesterday about this scheduled appointment, I was out getting pizza when when my therapist called, sorry, and it also says in here that I had just been given I've just been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, February 18th of 2021. Spoke by phone. Some difficulty regulating my sugar levels. I'm going to be seen by Women and Infants in March regarding the GI. Wow, I forgot all about this. Said I'm feeling well except for itching on my skin, which I thought might have been related to bile in my system, only because a friend of mine had the same thing. Well, she had a different thing. She truly had the bile in her system issue. That wasn't what mine ended up being, and it went away. But March 11th of 2021, spoke with Kim by phone. Reports feeling fairly well. Had a sonogram at the OB. Everything looks great. Baby due in July. This is about payment and go-pays and stuff. It was so hard to figure that all out when we couldn't see each other in person. May 25th of 2021, she called at time, but oh my god, that's right, the plumbing under the kitchen sink had broken, and I had to figure that out. Mark was not around, but I fixed it. April 8th of 2021, she called me, but I wasn't prepared to talk. She and the family were about to eat dinner, so I rescheduled. April 29th of 2021, spoke to Kim by phone. Client in hospital with stomach pain for 3 days. All of my test results were negative. The doctor put me on Protonix. That's right, I'm still on that medication. The doctor assumed that I had an ulcer. They wouldn't risk putting me under anesthesia because of the pregnancy, and he said, really, regardless, the treatment either way is going to be that medication. So he just, gave me the medication. May 13th of 2021, spoke to me by phone. I was in the hospital. I'm home now and rescheduled. May 27th, 2021, we spoke by phone. I was uncomfortable with a lot of pressure. I don't even know how many weeks pregnant I am at this point. I can't do math, but we had to make sure I got past a certain point of the pregnancy so that the baby would be, there wouldn't be any developmental issues. Because that's right, I was gonna have to deliver at Women and Infants if the baby came sooner. Otherwise, my plan was to deliver at South County Hospital where Lorelai was born. We had just bought our 2019 Kia, my Sorento. Yeah, my old car was the, I loved my Honda Odyssey, but it was old and had over 100,000 miles on it, and it was time for a new vehicle, but I do miss my minivan. And to be fair, I don't know, it wouldn't, we needed higher towing capacity, so a minivan really won't work, but anyways, overall I seem stable, uncomfortable, but happily looking forward to the baby's birth. July 1st, 2021. Spoke by phone. I went to the hospital last Monday with strong contractions. I stayed overnight. The next day the contractions stopped and I was discharged home. That was really hard. That, like, I was in labor and then it stopped. You know, and I had physically was done at this point and was just so devastated. I'm managing well emotionally. I'm not depressed and not very anxious, just hoping the baby comes soon. We'll call for next appointment after baby is born. September 20th, 2022. I had sent her a text message the week before asking if I could make an appointment to see her. This was an in-office session. I had told her I was going through a difficult time. She called me, we made this appointment that I met. But during that telephone conversation, I had told her that my traumatic history with Dylan was being triggered once again by his campaign signs. For the second time now, he's running for election in the coming November election. At this session, I told my therapist that I couldn't live with myself any longer if I didn't try to do something, if I did not try to press charges against Dylan for what he did to me. Because what he did to me is rape. You know, I used to try to convince myself, I would try to convince myself that it wasn't, and there's just no other way. There's nothing else to call it. I said no. I said no. The words came out of my mouth 3 times. And I put my hand in the way. I did try to physically stop him. You shouldn't get to determine how much force or effort or strength I had to put into trying to stop it. Because you weren't me. You were not an already abused young lady. No one will get it. I need to pause.